Hi, and welcome to our video on yielding and stopping in residential areas. In this video, we will discuss how to approach a yield sign, complete stops, where you have to stop, and right-of-way at controlled intersections. In residential areas, the two main traffic control signs are yield signs and stop signs. When coming up to an intersection controlled by a yield sign, drivers must yield to vehicles coming across their path and to pedestrians. If the roadway is clear, the vehicle can proceed without stopping. Please note that when approaching a yield sign, the speed that you can proceed is dictated by your line of sight. If you are approaching a roadway where you must yield and it is obviously clear, you should slow down maybe just a little bit, or at least cover your brake pedal and proceed with caution. If you are approaching an intersection where you must yield and you do not have a good line of sight, you should proceed at a slow speed until you can move forward and see if you are clear. It is important that you approach the intersecting roadway at a speed that you can safely stop before entering if you are not clear. So now let's talk about stopping. Stopping means that there is no more forward momentum whatsoever. A complete stop only happens when the weight of the car moves to the front axle, then rocks back to the rear axle, and settles on both axles of the car. While it is not a rule, it is always recommended that when you come to a complete stop, you stop for a full 3 seconds. By counting to 3, you're reducing the chance of doing what's called a rolling stop. A rolling stop is when the car does not come to a complete stop before proceeding forward. The consequence of not coming to a complete stop when you were supposed to is you will be getting a fine that can vary anywhere between $200 to $1,000, and you will lose 3 demerit points on your driver's license. When we stop at an intersection, it is very important for us to know where we actually need to stop. A lot of drivers think that when you come up to a stop sign, that is where you're supposed to stop, but that is wrong. When you come up to a stop sign, it means that you must stop for the intersecting roadway. Observing the markings right here, we must actually stop a little bit before or at the stop line. If there is no stop line, but there is a marked crosswalk, we must stop just before the marked crosswalk. And if there is no marked crosswalk, we must stop within 3 meters of the intersecting roadway, taking care not to block the sidewalk. And if you do come up to an intersection where you have a limited line of sight, it is very important that you stop where you're supposed to first, and then slowly proceed forward. That way, if there are pedestrians or cars that have the right of way, you'll be able to safely stop before entering the intersection. In this video, we will see a driver that is coming up to a stop sign but has an obstructed line of sight. After coming to a complete stop, the driver will slowly creep forward, make sure that they are clear, and then proceed. Remember that after your stop, you may creep forward, confirm that you're clear, and proceed without having to stop again. Let's talk right-of-way. Where roadways meet and intersect, there is the possibility for collision. Who should proceed and who must yield? Right-of-way rules requires one person to yield and allow others to proceed. Signs, signals, and sometimes the position of your vehicle to other vehicles at an intersection determine the rules. However, you must remember that even if you have the right-of-way, you are still responsible to do everything you can to prevent a collision. The best way to determine who has the right of way at an intersection is to be observant well in advance. The things we want to scan for as we're coming up to any intersection is if there are any other road users inside the intersection, any traffic sign at the intersection and which direction they are facing, and lastly, you want to look out for pedestrians that either started crossing the intersection or have demonstrated an intent to cross the intersection. In this scenario, we will look at who has the right of way at a controlled intersections. Controlled intersections are the most common intersections you will encounter in residential areas. These intersections are either controlled by stop signs or yield signs. Drivers facing these signs must always yield to the vehicles on the intersecting roadway. Although most of the time, but not all of the time, the cars coming from the smaller side street must yield to the bigger road. So the smaller road must yield to the main road. So if two vehicles are coming up facing each other from the smaller road, they must both yield to the main roads, and they can both go together at the same time as long as their paths do not intersect. If only one vehicle is turning left and the other vehicle is either going straight or turning right, the left turning vehicle must yield to the oncoming traffic regardless of who got there first. In this next scenario, we will discuss always stop intersections, also known as courtesy corners. At always stop intersections, there will be a stop sign at every corner. On the signpost below the stop sign, there will be a sign that says either 3-way, 4-way, or always stop. Regardless of what the sign says, it always means the same thing. Everybody must come to a complete stop before entering the intersection. When there is more than one vehicle coming up at the intersection, the right-of-way rules are decided in this order of precedence. Number 1. Whoever gets there first gets to go first, regardless of which direction the vehicle is heading. Number 2. If you both get there at the same time and you are running perpendicular to each other, the vehicle on the right has the right-of-way. In this video, the car with the main dash cam has the right-of-way with the vehicle that is on the left. Even though they both got there at the same time, the vehicle that is on the right has the right-of-way. And lastly, number 3, if both of you are facing each other and stop at the same time, you can both go as long as your paths do not intersect. If only one of you is turning left, then the left turning vehicle must yield to oncoming traffic going straight or turning right. In this video, we will see that both cars are there at the same time at the intersection. The car with the camera is turning left and the other vehicle is going straight. The car with the camera must yield to the oncoming traffic whether they are going straight or turning right. Thanks for watching. If you have any questions, please call us or text us at 587-990-2583 or email us at office@archersbluecar.ca.